How's it going, everybody? It's your forkin' friend here, and today we are going to do another discussion video. This one's going to be a little bit different from the first one, as this one is more of a versus battle. So we have Gorr the God Butcher versus Goku Black Rose. A lot of you already know who Goku Black Rose is, but we're going to give a quick rundown of his characteristics, his powers, and his feats, just to give an accurate of a battle representation as we can. So to start off, the baseline character field of Goku Black is he's a very sophisticated character due to his training to become the Supreme Kai. Next, through his training to become a Supreme Kai, he realized that he had a very, very fierce hatred for mortals, which ended up streamlining into his Zero Mortal plan. And he has a very, very intense god complex. For a god to have a god complex, that's pretty intense. Okay, so what are some of Goku Black's powers? Well, for one, he's a deity in a Saiyan's body, i.e. Goku's body. One of the strongest, if not the strongest Saiyan in all of existence. Next, he can make energy weapons and blades from his hands, like the sword that he uses to impale Vegeta, or the scythe that he used to cut that time wound, and all that good stuff. The next is his Kamehameha. It is unique to him because of his deity powers. It is the Black Kamehameha. So next he can summon several time anomaly clones that can regenerate, that are not as strong as Goku Black, but they are relative to the same strength as, I'd say, about 2/3 of Goku and Vegeta. So with enough numbers, that can be quite bothersome. Next, he has enough raw strength to fight Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue comfortably. Yes, he did have some help from future Zamasu, but most of the fighting was done by Goku Black Rose because of his transcending into Goku's body with the strength that came with it. Now, what are some of the feats that he has done? Not all of them are there, but these are just the important ones. He fought Goku and Vegeta twice and won both times. He impaled Vegeta straight through the chest in one of those fights. Went Super Saiyan Rose through just pure anger, specifically because he hates mortals that much. Whenever he was searching for the Super Dragon Balls, once he got everything that he wanted, he destroyed them. If that's not like ridiculous levels of strength, they're Super Dragon Balls. And has killed most, if not all, gods in his universe/timeline. So there's that. Let's get to Gorr the God Butcher. So Gorr the God Butcher, a little bit of backstory is needed for Gorr the God Butcher. If you haven't read that Marvel comic, I definitely recommend it. It is a very good read. But essentially, it takes place in this story where there's this alien tribe on a very harsh planet struggling to survive. They're nomads. They can't stay in one place for too long, so they're traveling through what looks like a desert. He doesn't believe in the gods because he thinks the gods haven't done anything for them. And so he has started developing a hatred for gods because all of his friends and family are dying, including his wife and child. So they're dead. He gets exiled from his tribe. Next thing you know, on his travels, two deities crash to the ground, fighting one of them dead. The dead one being the evil deity, or the dark deity, that has possession of the Necroblade. I'll get into what the Necroblade is in here in a second. So, the good one, severely damaged, almost dead. He takes possession of the Necroblade and is like, I have no pity for you, and kills the good one. Dead. So they're both dead. He has possession of the Necroblade and essentially becomes a god himself. So now what the Necroblade is, this is where it gets interesting. The Necroblade, the reason that it's so important to his character style and his character type is that if you know what the symbiotes are from, like, Venom, think of that, but like an ancient ancestor. Whenever Null, the initial creator of the symbiotes, he made a blade in a forge in fire that was supposed to be ridiculously powerful, and that's what this is. It's the Necroblade. So Gorr takes possession of the Necroblade, becomes a god himself, and just goes on a killing spree. He kills and kills and kills and kills and kills thousands upon thousands of gods. Lesser gods, greater gods, giant gods that wrestle black holes for fun, to Thor. Then we get to Thor. This is where we really get to see just how strong Gorr the God Butcher is. He fought Thor, young Thor, where he wasn't a god of thunder or the god of lightning yet. Or the god of thunder, yeah. He wasn't the god of thunder yet. He had his axe, and he was just a very skilled Asgardian warrior. Then we get to the representation of the Avengers Thor, the one that the Marvel and the MCU depicts from, that Thor. The Avengers Thor, who is already strong, wields Mjolnir, has all of his, he's a very powerful god of thunder, right? Then, on top of that, we have the All-Father Thor, Old Man Thor, where he has that robotic arm from the Destroyer armor. He has the eye patch, and he has a sword and Mjolnir. Essentially take Avengers Thor, combine it with Odin, and that's what you got. That is All-Father Thor. He's a very powerful Asgardian. Now, you take all three of those different timelines of Thor, they all combine into the same timeline. So you have all three of them fighting Gorr the God Butcher, and Gorr is toying with them, playing with them. Then this gets into the powers. So he possesses the Necroblade. He can change his body parts into several different kinds of weapons because of the Necroblade. He can summon hundreds of thousands of berserkers that are comparable in strength to Avengers Thor. He can breathe in space, which Goku Black can't do. He can breathe in space. Every god he kills, he gets stronger proportional to the one that he killed. So, for example, if he killed Avengers Thor, or Young Thor, or even All-Father Thor, essentially he would get stronger proportional to them. If you were to kill All-Father Thor, he would get that much stronger, which is very interesting. So every god that he kills, he gets that much stronger. And then he has enough raw strength to fight Young Thor, Avengers Thor, and All-Father Thor at the same time. Now, I wouldn't say comfortably, because of course it was a challenge. That's why they did it. But it happened. He fought all of them solo. All three of them, who are old. All-Father Thor is like Skyfather level strength. He is ridiculously powerful, more powerful than Odin ever was. And he was struggling to fight Gorr with two other versions of Thor. That's how strong Gorr is. Now, if you take Odin, right? If you compare him to levels of strength in Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super, rather, he would be comparable to, maybe a little, I wouldn't say, exactly on par, but the closest representation would be Beerus, the god of destruction, Beerus. They have very similar levels of status and feats. Very, very powerful. And Gorr, this version of Thor, All-Father Thor, is stronger than that, and he was struggling to fight Gorr. So you have that level of strength with... He attained the Necroblade. He slaughtered thousands of gods, and fought two different Thors, the Young Thor and Avengers Thor, I believe, in the core of a star. No, it was Avengers Thor and All-Father Thor, I believe, in the core of a star, and won. He won. he cock-slapped and was like, nah, get out of here, bruh. So, you have Goku Black, who is a deity in a Saiyan's body, with immeasurable power. I would say comparable. Okay, so if Super Saiyan God Goku, back whenever he first fought Beerus, was levels of strength where each punch sent a ripple through the entire Universe 7, all of Universe 7, and like 3 of them almost shattered everything. That's the visible universe, the Kai's universe, the undead universe. All of that was feeling the punches, the colliding punches of Goku and Beerus. And that was first gen Goku Super Saiyan God. Then he takes that into himself, right? Absorbs the powers of Super Saiyan God, adds on to that. So then he becomes Super Saiyan Blue, which is his base form Super Saiyan, or his base form is the same level as his Super Saiyan God form. So he has absorbed that strength, goes Super Saiyan, fuses that with his Super Saiyan God energy, and you get, I mean, multi-universal levels of power. And Goku Black's Rose was just slapping him around. Just, I mean, like, he whipped his dick out, smacked Goku in the face with it, and was like, come back when you're more prepared. That's how strong Goku Black Rose is. Like, I mean, whenever he fused with Future Zamasu, he was, like, I mean, I would say he was definitely stronger than all Gods of Destruction. Like, he could fight Beerus and win. That's how strong, I believe, Fuse Zamasu, or Merge Zamasu is. Now, you take Goku Black Rose with multi-universal levels of power versus Gorr the God Butcher. With every god that he kills, he gets that much stronger, fighting All-Father Thor and 2 others at the same time. You have very, very comparable levels of power. Maybe Gorr the God Butcher can't output all of that power all at once, but that just goes right into his durability. It goes right into his agility, his fighting skills, and just his overall strength, just his raw brute force power. He can hit you, and since Goku Black isn't immortal, he would feel that. But the only thing that would make things interesting is Gorr the God Butcher has a stagnant level of power. He can't grow his power unless he kills a god. So if he can't quite beat Goku Black at his peak power, he doesn't get stronger. Goku Black does. With every fight, because of his Saiyan DNA that he has stolen from Goku, every fight he gets stronger. So say Goku Black Gorr the God Butcher pushes back Goku Black to where Goku Black is on his hands and knees, but Goku Black barely manages to get away. Right? Next time they fight, Goku Black would smash Gorr the God Butcher. And I will stand by that. Because Goku Black fought Vegeta, right? Vegeta was amped up through sheer rage. He got his ass beat by rage-empowered Vegeta. And then got up, was like, oh, you want to talk about anger? Oh, I'm pissed. And then he just goes, he just gets ridiculously stronger. Like, more, just power just starts flooding out of his body. And this is the point whenever he starts, crushing his hand blade and turns it into a scythe. That's around that point. That's how much power that he gets just from being beaten in a short few seconds. Imagine if he had entire days to recover from fighting Gorr the God Butcher if he gets away. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Now, if Goku Black could get away. Because I think Gorr the God Butcher would win. Because if you take Gorr the God Butcher's abilities, just in hand-to-hand combat, they both can use blades. But since Goku Black has energy blades, it's a little bit different. So it's like essentially having a lightsaber on your hand. But Gorr the God Butcher, his Necro Blade is it's a biological weapon. Like, it's a living thing. And so with every god that he's killed, their durability, their strength, their power just seeps into it, and it gets that much more powerful. So whether or not Goku Black could cut through it, that's a whole other, that goes into way too much speculation. So, Gorr the God Butcher with the strength that he has fighting All-Father Thor. I'm just going to say he is, I'd say, like two steps higher than All-Father Thor, Old Man Thor, right? So he could comfortably fight Old Man Thor because Old Man Thor was like he had the armies of his berserkers just sitting and waiting for Thor to do something. Thor would go out, fight, lose, get dragged back to his throne, let him recuperate, and he would go out and do it again. That's how strong Gorr is. He never directly even fought Old Man Thor until all three of them were there to fight. That's how strong Gorr is. That's just ridiculous. Through sheer numbers, he overwhelmed Old Man Thor. Through sheer numbers alone with his berserkers. Now, I'm sure Goku Black could do the same thing, or something similar, with his time anomaly clones. But the biggest difference is that those time anomaly clones can't do the same things that Goku Black can do. They are just random spurs in time that get sucked in with the same agenda, and they automatically know what's going on, right? Those clones of Goku Black Rose don't have all the same powers. They can only, I would assume, since they didn't really showcase anything in the anime, that they can only do hand-to-hand combat. But same thing with the Berserkers. They can only do that. But those clones and those Berserkers, I would say, are on a relatively similar level. Which, they would kind of just, they would fight. But the thing is, Gorr can output more faster. Because with every one of those clones that get destroyed, they don't regenerate or replenish fast enough. There was only a couple dozen in that short time. But Gorr can just throw those things out like it's nothing. That's the interesting thing. Now, I feel like I've talked for long enough. We have Goku Black, who is relative to Gods of Destruction. Right? Relative. Then he can make energy blades. He can make time clones. And he just has overwhelming power. Gorr the God Butcher has the Necro Blade, is essentially a god himself through outside means. That's funny. I just put this together in my head. I have Goku Black is a god into a mortal's body, and Gorr the God Butcher is a mortal into a god body. That's interesting. But you have Gorr the God Butcher, who obtained the Necroblade, became a god, has weapon manipulation, can summon armies of berserkers, thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them, very quickly. And with every god that he kills, he gets stronger. So who's to say if he can beat young Thor, steals his power, Avengers Thor with that new power, kills him, and then with that stacked on top of his already existing power, kills All-Father Thor, you have an unstoppable force. And then he also, I'd say, like, after he fights Goku Black for the first time, realizes, I need to get stronger. So he goes back, kills all three Thors after toying with them for several years, right? He's like, I need this power. We have a god that's going to rival me or could potentially beat me. And so he fights him, gets that much stronger, essentially doubling his already existing power. Goku Black, already powerful in Super Saiyan Rose. So we're gonna take Goku Black in the official fight. We're gonna take Goku Black Rose from right before he fuses with Zamasu at his peak performance that we see, right before he fuses into Merge Zamasu. Then we're gonna take Gorr the God Butcher right at the tail end of his story arc, where he's fighting all three timelines of Thor. So they're at their peak performance, head-to-head combat. Who would win? I personally think Gorr the God Butcher would have a very good chance at winning if he doesn't beat Goku Black first time. If Goku Black survives and gets away, then Goku Black would have a much higher chance of winning, unless Gorr the God Butcher goes and kills more gods and gets stronger. But if he just goes and like randomly kills a bunch of lesser gods just to get it out of the way, he's not going to get all that much stronger very quickly. Now, Goku Black, his exponential growth is because of the Zenkai boost of having the Saiyan DNA. And Zenkai boosts are stupid. Stupid levels of strong. So it's up in the air. I don't know. I'm putting my cards on Gorr the God Butcher just because he's just basically, without having energy blasts, he's Goku Black but better. Like, he is just nasty. He will go for the kill as soon as possible, whereas Rose would want to toy with you and torture the petty mortal. So, I don't know. I'm going to say Gorr the God Butcher. If you have any other opinions, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Don't be afraid to subscribe, leave a like, and definitely leave a comment. I want to have a very hardcore discussion going. And yeah, tell me what you think. I really appreciate you watching, and until next time, bye.